What's up, guys? You already know what's going on. My name is Andrew, and you're listening to Genuine Radio. I'm here with Safa Mostafa, and we will be talking about the election today. Safa, thank you for joining me.
Always a pleasure.
And you want to give the listeners a little bit of background about yourself?
Yes. Um, so to whoever's listening, my name is Safa. I'm a student at New Jersey City University. My major is political science with a minor in pre-law. I am the executive vice president of the Student Government Association here. Off
Mm-hmm.
campus, I'm the co-lead for the Hudson County chapter of Students Demand Action that works with Moms Demand Action and every town for gun safety. Um, and that's just what I do.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. And like I said, I'm definitely glad to have you on today.
Thank you.
So I think we can both agree that this election season has been something else.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
it is certainly a time to be alive. Um, but I do want to ask, who do you, in your personal opinion, like who will you be voting for, and who do you think would be the best choice for the next president of the United States?
So I will be voting for Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the way that elections are working in the state of New Jersey is everyone got a mail-in ballot in their mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just want to do it at home, and then we have designated mailbox voter mailbox spots all throughout Jersey City, so you can just go drop it off there. Or if you really want to, you can give it to the who's ever at your who's ever at your voting station in your
Mm-hmm.
district on election day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm voting by mail, and I'm voting for Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for this specific election, he is the best choice. I will admit he wasn't my first choice when the race began, but we are about 2 weeks away from elections, and he is the only one that represents, um, I feel like my values
Mm-hmm.
and my principles, um, and also just ultimately wants the best for everyone. You know what I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
say?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I normally always vote Democrat. So
Mm.
who
Okay.
else would I be voting for?
Yeah. You mentioned that initially he wasn't your first choice. Could you elaborate a little bit on why?
So nothing wrong with Joe Biden, but he didn't really come from, I say, like a minority background as
Mm-hmm.
per se Bernie Sanders, who came
Yeah.
from public schools, and he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Uh he came from a similar background to which I kind of came from.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
wanted someone that would represent me in that aspect and also fight for the things that we need. So not
Mm-hmm.
all Democrats believe in the same thing, and we all know this. There's progressive Democrats and there's just moderate Democrats
Mm-hmm.
who do want to change certain things. However, they don't want to change it completely, if that makes sense. Like, for example, universal healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare in America, not the best. So some Democrats don't want to take away private insurance, but they want to make health insurance, affordable. But you still got to pay a price for it, out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
some, like Bernie Sanders, he wants universal health care. You just pay for it with your taxes, and that
Mm-hmm.
way no one is left behind. And this is a very radical, um, for some reason, it's a crazy idea, but other countries have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I wanted someone that, like, at first that's what he wants to do. He didn't wait for someone else to present the idea. At first, Bernie's like, this is what I want. This is what we should do. Other countries have it. Why don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Biden and other Democrats were like, that's a very radical idea. Let's do this other version, which is a way watered down version of what we really need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, and I do know that a lot of people feel similarly to how you did, because there was after Biden won the primary. I know that a lot of people were kind of upset that Bernie didn't make it. Um, but he did have a lot of good ideas, and who knows? Hopefully, he might be a part of the administration. He might be, I
True,
mean,
true.
should Biden win, he might be part of the administration. You never know. Um, I also do want to talk about Kamala Harris. If elected, with Joe Biden, she would be the first African American the first African American vice president, um, African American female vice president, I believe.
Hmm.
And wouldn't she be the first female vice president? I'm pretty sure. Um, but how do you feel about that? How do you feel about her? And her what she could potentially mean to so many people in this country.
So similar to Joe Biden, she wasn't my first choice, even when she was
Hmm.
running for president.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like she does bring a lot of great ideas and initiatives to the table, and
Hmm.
she wants to fix a lot of things in our country. The reason why she wasn't really my first choice was because, like I said, she didn't really represent all my values and principles that I wanted.
Hmm.
Um, but she still opens the door for all of us, in my
Yes.
opinion. So even just having her on the ticket alone, on the election ticket alone, shows that you can get to that level. You can get to
Hmm.
that position. And in a world where, let's be real here, sexism exists. It's still alive today, and it's
Yes.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So we all remember when she was on that vice president debate, and she's like, "I'm speaking.
Yes.
Stop."
Yes.
She's like, "Stop talking. I'm speaking. You are going to let me finish my sentence and respect me as you do any other man." And when I saw that, I was like, "Period!" Like, I was going in my own room, right?
Yeah.
Um, so even though she's not my first choice, I still think we need woman empowerment in the White House.
Hmm.
And this isn't a radical idea too. Um, there's a lot of weird things where it's like, why is this an argument? Why is this a debate? Why is a
Yes.
woman being even if she, let's just say, if not Biden, if the roles were reversed and she was running for president and he was the vice president, let's do
Hmm.
that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know,
Exactly.
but yeah, I think this is what we need. It's
Hmm.
2020, and we need more women in power. As
Yes, I completely agree. I completely agree. It's interesting too because there's been a lot of talk about her role. I know some people have come up with conspiracy theories that some of the Democrats in the House are trying to push this bill, the 25th Amendment, I think. Um, and basically that would be it was surrounding if the president's like
Hold on one second, I have
unable.
the Constitution right in front of me.
Oh, look at you. Um, oh yeah, yeah. If you wanna.
25th Amendment, and just for the record, I'll say a couple words about it. Well,
Hmm.
from
Yeah, of
the
course.
text.
Okay.
So this was ratified on February 10th, 1967.
Hmm.
The First Amendment. Well, I can't speak. The
You good.
25th Amendment, Bullet 1 says, in case of the removal of the president from office, of or of his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president.
Mm.
Do you want me to continue?
Yeah.
Whenever there Whenever there is a vacancy in the office of the vice president, the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take office upon confirmation by a majority vote of both House of Congress, House of Congress. That's what it says.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
mhm.
So I think a lot of the conversation was around Joe Biden's age. Um, and God forbid if something is to happen, Kamala Harris would then become the president. So that's also something that's been part of the conversation. Surrounding this whole election. And if she does become the president, she would be the first woman president in our nation's history. So that definitely would be quite the spectacle.
Hmm.
Obviously, not wishing any
Of course.
not wishing any death on Joe Biden, but that's certainly a possibility.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that either. I feel like Joe Biden's the grandpa that America never wanted, but you know, they're here. Got to deal with
That's a
them.
great way to put it. That is a great way to put
Um,
it.
and I don't think it's a conspiracy. Like, it's life at this
Yeah,
point. You
that's
know, if
true.
anything, that if you learned anything from 2020, it's that life is short.
Yeah.
So, God forbid anything were to happen to Biden, yeah, she would be the first president ever in American history to be in office. And I love that. I feel like that'd be great.
Yeah.
Um, and even though I'm saying like Biden and Kamala Harris would still be, you know, great in office, I still feel like there's some things that they do need to work on.
Hmm.
Because I feel like Biden, with certain things, I can't bring up exact examples, where he'll say things and, you know, his intentions aren't there, but they're still offensive.
Yeah.
Um, I think at some point, he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
you're trying to be something that you're not, and it's coming off very offensive and very racist too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He ended up apologizing for that, which, you know, great. That's something that our current president doesn't do.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just things like that where I feel like he doesn't know where he stands, so he kind of just plays a role that everyone wants him to play. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot too. And I was having a conversation with someone earlier, and they were talking about his past and how he supported certain bills, and how some of the comments he made in the past weren't the best. So it seems like he's definitely learned from his past self, and he's definitely changed as a politician. However, like you said, there is definitely room for growth for both Kamala and for Joe. Um, Personally, I tried to keep I try to stay neutral during my podcast episodes,
Mhm.
but I do agree with you. I do feel like these two would be the best choice for the country.
I feel like they're the only choice at this
Mm.
point. Cause I remember when, unfortunately, when RBG passed away,
Oh yeah,
the night of, and rest in peace to her. You know, what
yeah,
an amazing woman. But the night that she passed away, everyone was in ruins. Everyone was grieving, and you know, as we
yeah,
should. And then Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell couldn't even wait 24 hours to announce, like, yeah, even though on your deathbed you said that you wanted to wait until after election to be replaced, yeah, we're not going to do that. You
yeah,
know, you can say how disgusting, how terrible of him, like what human does that?
yeah,
Um, but we already know who this person is. We already know his actions and his intentions, and that's just who he is.
yeah,
And Congress representative of I think the 14th congressional district of New York City, um, she Alexandra Ocasio Cortez. I hope I'm saying her full name correctly, but
hmm,
she got on Instagram Live and she represents all my values, principles. Like, I love that woman. Out of all of the
oh,
politicians in America, um, I would sit down and have coffee with her. She's
oh,
just an amazing woman. Um, but on the night of, you know, RBG's passing, she got on Instagram Live and, you know, she saw that everyone was, you know, grieving. And she said, you know, voting for Biden doesn't mean that you like him. You know,
mm,
voting for him just means that our democracy gets to live another day,
yeah,
which she's absolutely correct. If you look at the events of fascism and how fascism government is created, we're in the steps of that with President Trump.
hmm,
So, and it's very scary, in my opinion, because it means that we no longer have a democracy. Our voice just doesn't matter,
hmm,
which in a way I already kind of don't feel like that because you know you can vote one way, but the majority vote doesn't matter if
hmm,
The electoral college vote is a different vote. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. That's what happened in 2016.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like Hillary won,
Yeah.
but the rules are different. Um, but yeah, that's the main reason why I'm voting for Biden because I want to see our democracy and our country live another day. Even if that means we have to hold Biden accountable to different things, we can do that. Fine.
Hmm.
You can protest very heavily outside the White House with Biden in there, and he'll do
Hmm.
something because
Yeah.
he's done it before. But with Trump, if you do that, what is he gonna do? He'll tear gas on you and then take a picture with the
Yeah.
Bible 2 blocks away. Yeah,
Hide in this bunker.
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely gonna be. I've heard a lot of people who are speculating that the day after election day, or whenever we get the results, because some people are saying that the results might be delayed a few days because of the whole mail-in situation.
Mhm.
Um, but I had a lot of people speculating that the day after we got the results, it's gonna be an interesting day in this country. Um, some people are saying that if Trump wins, then protests is gonna erupt, and stuff like that. And other people are thinking that if Biden wins, then Trump supporters are gonna go. Um,
Go
you know,
crazy.
yeah. Um, I don't know. We'll see. 2020 in and of itself, this year is a lot. It's been so much to take in and
And a part of
to
the
handle.
reason that 2020 was just so, I'm sorry, awful, um, is because we had a terrible president.
Hmm.
He knew about the virus. He knew what was coming. He knew how it is not like the flu at all.
Hmm.
And he lied to America. And this isn't me being biased at all. Like, it's true. The
Yeah.
recording came out of you in no, February saying, this isn't like the flu. You can die from it, yes. And then for months, he said, it's no big deal. You don't have to worry about it.
Hmm.
You know, the deaths
It.
of Americans that died from COVID-19 are on his hands.
Yeah.
So 2020 didn't need to be as crazy and terrible as it is now. If you look at, say, Australia, who has a woman prime minister, I believe,
Hmm.
um, they have zero COVID cases right now.
Wow. Wow.
We could be like that if we just acted accordingly.
Yes. Something that surprised me too. Well, no, it didn't surprise me. Let me not say that. But when Trump got COVID himself, the way he went about it, like I thought that okay, he has COVID. Maybe he's gonna understand finally how serious this is. Maybe after he goes to experience this experience, he's gonna be humbled, and he's actually gonna do things to cater to those who are struggling with this disease. That did not happen at all. Um, the way he went about the entire thing, from that viral video that went off of him ripping off the mask, and him saying, "Oh, there's nothing to be scared about." Like that's not the right message. You should be like you
Conveying.
should be, yeah, to your country, to your constituents. This is a serious thing, and thousands of people have lost their lives. Um, and it's really upsetting to me. Like he has the best he he has the best doctors that cater to him in a snap of a finger.
Mm,
Not everyone, like no one, not a lot of people have that,
yeah.
right? There's people out here who like they get COVID, they can't even afford to go to the hospital.
Mind you, we're paying for his treatments. How much did this guy
Hmm.
pay in taxes again? $750.
What, seven
I
750?
I paid more than the president of the United States, and I was working fast food. Like that's not okay.
Not at all.
And for the people that don't see that we have a system that is just fundamentally broken, for the not gonna say for the wrong people, if it's broken to that extent, we need a whole new system. Don't change a few rules and regulations. No, every single thing that happens when we do our taxes needs to be changed at some point
Hmm.
because we're seeing that it's not working. people are people are paying more when they don't have that money. I don't know how to explain it. Like you got
Yeah, I know what you
yeah.
mean.
So for millionaires not to pay um for millionaires to pay less taxes than someone that is a teacher um shouldn't that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. And like you said, the whole like it has to be changed. I don't the way this country is going. I don't really. I'm not too optimistic that that will happen. But I have to believe that eventually, someday, through gradual change, it will.
I
Um,
I kind of feel like it will. We're not gonna get we're not gonna have the rules and regulations and laws for taxes change right now this year with this president. But I feel as though
mhm,
you know, inshallah, which means God willing in Arabic, um,
mhm,
when he gets elected as president, we can hold him accountable to that. Not just us, but
mhm,
AOC, Alexandra Ocasio Cortez, and her squad will definitely hold him accountable and make sure that no teacher is paying more taxes than the president.
mhm, mhm. That's I'm definitely looking forward to that. I've seen a lot of things going around on Instagram about AOC 2024. So
I hope
I
so.
mean,
I will vote for that woman in a heartbeat. I will intern for her for free. I don't care. Like, she needs to be, like, her position is fine. Like, she still gets a lot of things done. But she needs to be in a higher position to do more than what she can do right now?
mhm. Yes, yes, yes. She's I've seen some of the stuff she's been doing. She's very powerful. Um, and I would definitely um, like to keep following her to see where she goes because she's young.
She is.
She
I
is
think she
young.
just turned 30.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's crazy. But we do need no hate to um all those people currently running, but we do need younger people running it for office. We do need more people of color running for office because a lot of the times, like you said, people, of that older generation, they don't really understand us, and they don't really understand. They don't share the same concerns. They don't share the same
I feel
values
as
as
though
us. So,
we need more people in power that look like us now. And not just that, but like
hmm
believe in the same issues as us. Because I've seen Mexicans that support Trump, and
hmm
I've seen people that look like us but don't believe in the same things as us. So
yeah,
sure, yes, we do need people that look like us to represent us. Yes, I do believe that, but they also need to share the same values and principles as us. Because if you don't, then I'm voting for someone that's going to do no different than Trump.
yeah. I completely agree. So hopefully, that's something I'm thinking about in the future. I'm not crossing it off. Potentially running for office. Um, I know you were telling me earlier too about it. You was like, if you know anyone who might be interested, tell them, consider running for office.
Definitely,
Because like we can actually like do something.
definitely.
But you have any final thoughts?
Um, this is just for the viewers watching. Go for that position.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think it's small, you're not going to be able to do a lot. Still go for it. I ran for executive vice president of student government, and that's a position that
Mm-hmm.
normally like juniors and seniors go for. Because they've been here, they have the
Mm-hmm.
experience. I went with it, ran, and I ran unopposed, so I'm
Wow.
there, and I able to have a seat at the table with my administrators addressing
Mm-hmm.
concerns, um, and talking about it. Um, it is possible, and there are people willing to listen to you and to help you. And even if you think the work that you're doing amounts to nothing and that like no one sees it, someone is watching you. I promise. There was a
Mm-hmm.
Instagram post going around. It was like, your biggest supporter is always someone that you don't know, and then your biggest hater is someone that you do know. So
Mm,
someone's watching you, I promise. Which is also why you should also watch what you say
mm,
on social media. Learns learn something like
yeah.
that the hard way. Um, but still go for it. You have people cheering for you that you might not see, and you're inspiring people that you don't see as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Andrew, go for it.
Yeah, that is a very good message. And that's something I'm gonna try to remember sometimes because when I'm feeling stressed out or frustrated with what I'm doing, I do like that'll definitely be helpful to remember that there's always someone cheering me on, even if I don't know it. So that's really powerful. But I do want to thank you, Safa, for coming on today. I'm sharing your insight, your views. You have a very intelligent, and you have a lot of insight on this.
Of course, thank you.
So you're welcome. You're welcome back anytime. You want to talk about something else? Just hit me up. I'm
Of
always
course. And
down
before I go,
to
I just
talk
want to
to
say
you.
thank you to you for having me here. And also just
Mm.
having a podcast where we could talk about things like this. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't want to touch politics. It's very sticky, which that's true,
Yeah.
but everything involves politics, so you have to talk about
Yes.
it. So even just bringing up this conversation,
Yes.
is really great. So I applaud you for it, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Safa. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank all the listeners to listen to this episode. Um, yeah, we'll see you guys next
Thank you,
time. Peace
Andrew.
out.
Have a good day.
You too.